I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Hubbardston Select Board, Monday, November 17th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. And for those of you who haven't been here before, and it's been a while since we've had a meeting, once we moved in here, we kind of set up something different. So if you have something to say to us, etc., if you would move over to the speaker's dais there. It makes it easier also in terms of the cable taping it, as opposed to just hearing a voice. So just go over there, introduce yourselves, and don't be afraid. Okay. We'll do the communications and any announcements that you have.
All right, I got a whole bunch.
Okay.
So November 23rd, which is this coming up weekend, is the Thanksgiving market put on at the Williamsville Chapel from 12 to 3. The Historical Society always does a fantastic job going down there. You find a lot of local farmers and people, and it's a great place just to kind of pop in and say hi to everybody, because there's a whole bunch of people down there all the time. It's usually pies for sale, and you can get all kinds of good stuff for your Thanksgiving dinner. So again, that is this Sunday, the Thanksgiving market at the Williamsville Chapel from 12 to 3. November 24th is the deadline to enter the light fight. Just in case anyone's aware, it's a little bit early this year due to the fact that Thanksgiving's a little late. So, yeah, 24th, things need to be signed and either dropped in the mail or dropped off at the town offices. You can find all the paperwork and contest rules and entry forms on the town website under special events, light fight. November 30th, we're going to have the annual tree lighting at 5 p.m. up at the town common, the meeting house. It should be fun because Rick usually is entertaining to sing.
What time is it?
5 o'clock.
At November 30th?
Yeah, Sunday. It's always a fun ride. Again, all are welcome. We'll have some cocoa and things like that up there. And we'll sing for a little while, and then we'll light up all the holiday stuff on the town common. So November 28th, 29th, 30th, and then if there's still supplies left, December 6th, the Lions are selling trees on 30 Gardner Road. That is why there's a trailer out there in between the pallet factory and the storage units. They will be selling fresh trees. So yes, so stop in. It's while supplies last, and it starts the 28th. And they will go on to the 29th, the 30th, and possibly December 6th if supplies last that long. But it's first come, first serve, and as they sell out, they sell out. So get there quickly. December 5th, the light fight starts. That is Friday. It starts the first 3 weekends of December, 5 to 9, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maps will be online and also dropped off for paper version at the gas station, and you get to vote and do all the things we normally do, fun times for the holiday stuff. On December 6th, the seniors are having their Christmas fair from 9 to 2 at the senior center. If you haven't been in the senior center, I would highly recommend popping in for this. They have done a fantastic job over there, not only taking over what was the meeting room and making it fantastic, but also decorating. It looks like Christmas threw up in there. In a good way, though. In a nice, fancy way. So go see Claudia and all the rest of the seniors. They'll have their basket raffles and all kinds of good stuff, and they have their regular holiday vendors there, and it's a great time just to kind of roam around and get some holiday shopping done from local vendors. On December 6th.
What time is that?
That is 9 to 2, I believe is the time.
Thank you. Sorry.
December 6th, the Lions are going to have pictures with Santa at the bandstand from 5 to 7:30. Santa sits up in the bandstand and they do a little display up there, which is great for especially older kids that don't necessarily want to do the little kid things, but you still want a picture with Santa. It's perfect time. Again, that's December 6th from 5 to 7. And then that weekend also is the Pioneer Valley Brass Quintet, which is a free concert Sunday, December 7th at 5:30 at the First Meeting House. And that is all I got for right now, which is a lot.
Same time.
I don't know if there's anything for library, because nobody informed me of anything for library, but,
It's a little busy today.
well, I'm just saying, you know what's coming. So that's on you.
Anything for the library. There's Saturday story time this Saturday. Story time on Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. I'm not doing anything crazy yet. The first week of December, story time is on Wednesday, is snowplow story time. The Hubbardston DPW is bringing me one snowplow, or two. And then the following week, which is December 9th, I do believe, the following Wednesday, Wednesday story time is story time with Santa. And that's it for now.
Okay, like I said, that's it for now. We'll go into
More to
further.
come?
Yeah, more to come. All right, yep.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other announcements or reports at this time? Okay, seeing, we will move on. Anyone here for open session? Okay.
Nope.
We're at the point of,
Jeff, before that, the Mass DOT field office, you're gonna read that?
they're just vacating.
Okay, do we wanna just announce that?
Yeah, that's all that was put in thinking, I'm sorry, I mean, the Mass Dot field office is closing. It's just notification from the AF Morello and Sons that Mass Dot engineer, they will vacate the field office in this building as of November 28th, 2025. Okay. In terms of the hearing, we will not be holding a tax classification hearing tonight, and it will be what we call a continuance, meaning we will continue this to next Monday night at 6:30. The reason is, and this is from the gentleman involved, basically these are his words, but Dave Manzello and I are working on the tax classification. We've hit a snag, and we need to reschedule our joint meeting to the next available date. And since we are up against time, etc., next Monday is the date for the continuance. Would you like to explain any more about the continuance?
I can actually probably explain two pieces. So I did reach out to Leanne, who works directly with the assessor's office. So she had mentioned that the piece that, as you referenced, Jeff, the snag, they just had a question on the debt schedule and the debt exclusion, so they had to wait for something from the treasurer collector. They have that information now, and now they just have to reach out to DOR to make sure they're okay with all of our documents and everything else, and then they should be good to go in a few days. The reason to do a continuance as opposed to postponing, it's just a semantics piece, but when you continue something, it allows us to ride on the original advertisements that were already out there for 2 weeks. And then we can just move the date. We just, in the motion, we just make the continuance for a date certain, which I think everyone's mostly available for next Monday. That way we can get it done. There's a benefit to doing it sooner than later when you're setting the tax rate. Usually the treasurer's office wants it done before December 1st, if at all possible, because they have to get the bills out. The later you wait, the later you have to wait for approval, the later everything pushes, and then everyone starts panicking towards the end of December. So that's the reason for doing a continuance versus a postponement.
Okay. Do we need a motion on this?
We definitely need a motion on that. I would be happy to make that,
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
thank you. Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we continue the tax rate classification hearing to, of course now, what's the date?
November 24th.
Monday, November 24th at 6:30 p.m. in this room, and also maintaining a virtual option.
Second.
Motion's made in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Thank you, Heather. Okay. We have quite a detailed consent agenda, so board members, please let me go through the whole thing. And then if there are any holds or questions before we make the motion to accept it, we can discuss at that point. First of all, we have the minutes from the select board meeting of October 20th, 2025. We were all there. Under appointments and resignations. First of all, on the appointments, we have Paul Sweeney, term for Council on the Aging, his term through June 30th, 2026. We have Kathleen Vincent, again, Council on the Aging, term through June 30, 2026. Both of them have been approved already by the Council on the Aging. We have the Animal Inspector, Elizabeth Tara, her term through April 30th, 2026. This has been approved by the Director of Animal Health. We have resignations. First of all, we have the resignation of David Horn, Building Commissioner and Inspector, effective November 26, 2025. I have a letter here from him, basically indicating that after working in the position for 3 months, it's become clear that the town deserves an individual who is able to work during daytime hours to be effective in conducting the responsibilities of the role, to effectively communicate with employees in the building department, interact effectively with residents of the town. This is the reason that he has decided to resign. We have a laborer, Brendan McDonald, DPW laborer, effective 11/14/2025. He is also resigning. We have a resignation from Mary LaRue.
Do you want the paper version?
Okay, thank you. Because this gentleman actually just came on recently.
Came back on.
Yeah.
He worked for us before, left.
Yeah, he says, due to the temporary nature of the position I was in, I was inclined to search for a more permanent work situation. I was fortunate to procure permanent employment, etc. We have a letter of resignation of our treasurer, Mary LaRue, effective 12/4/25. But the board, in her letter, I don't know if you have all had a chance to see it, she also said she would be willing to work for the following 3 Fridays, the 12th, December 5th, December 12th, and December 19th, to help with and ensure the quarterly bills, etc. So, sorry to hear about that, but we wish her well. We also have another resignation from the executive assistant, Patricia Lowe, effective 12/11/25. We're sorry to hear that too. Those are the appointments and resignation. We're still in the consent agenda, everyone. Wage authorization for DPW employee Brian Colwell, DPW winter part-time laborer, $23.98 an hour. And then under administrative matters, the police department, the BDW grant application request. This is simply for the body cameras that we've already okayed, so it's basically to accept that grant. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, may I speak?
Okay, I think I know what you're going to say. You're talking about the health.
Appointment.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff, do we want to finish through this?
Yeah,
Let's do the
Sure.
consent.
Yeah.
Since that's not written on the consent, that would probably be under either new business or we can take it
Yeah.
out of order.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a reason, and I certainly will share it with you as far as why it's not on there.
Okay.
Okay?
So Jeff, one question, so on the grant, that's just to put the application in at this point, right,
Correct.
Chief? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And do you know how much we're submitting it for? The amount?
$16,182.39.
Exactly.
So that's a no, you don't. Okay, thank you.
And the last thing that's under the consent agenda, although my understanding is we need a motion here just for this alone, so that if I can kind of separate that. This is the Mart drug and alcohol policy, because we need a motion to accept the drug alcohol policy for Mart 2025 through 2027, and also to send a letter to let them know we've accepted it. So I think that if we could keep that one separate, so we can get a separate motion on that. Are there any holds or questions on anything?
Yes, I have some holds.
Okay,
I would like to hold on the minutes.
the minutes?
Yep, of October 20th.
Okay,
I'd also like to hold on the set of resignations,
hold on which ones?
all of them, just the whole resignation set.
Okay,
And then I'd like to hold on the drug and alcohol policy that you just mentioned.
okay. Okay, so before we act on those things, let's see what that leaves us as for a motion to accept,
Everything else.
well,
Wage authorization.
no, the appointments,
Yeah.
the appointments, okay? Council on the Aging and the Animal Inspector and the wage authorization
And the police department.
and the police department's body camera. So that's the consent agenda you'll be, as a board, voting on right now. So could I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as it now has been presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah. Passed. Now, how do you want to handle these?
Have a good night.
Okay,
Chief.
He's
thanks,
out.
Ryan.
Is it okay if we go through each one of these in the order that they appear?
You held them up? Yep, sure.
Okay, I did hold them up, you're right.
So, go ahead.
So the select board meeting minutes, I was just hoping we could hold that for another meeting. I was reviewing them and I have some questions and some thoughts on some of the places where I think we may need to elaborate a little bit more. I think some of the conversation might have missed.
Okay.
We just may not have grabbed it all. It's very condensed.
Mhm.
But I think we might want to elaborate a little bit more on some of those pieces.
I have no objection on that. Does anyone have? Okay,
Nope.
so we'll put that over to the next one.
And I'll work with Tricia on that so she has my thoughts and doesn't have to read my mind.
Okay, so that particular meeting,
That was the 30th.
So on the resignations, so I asked to hold these, so we have quite a few here. And I'm wondering if this is an opportunity for the select board for a couple things. Number one, to consider, I know it's always been best practice, but to consider maybe helping out and trying to see if this is a good point for us to get involved with doing some exit interviews where we have quite a few people at the same time, just to make sure, that we know how to do things moving forward, right? Sometimes we don't realize if job descriptions are too lengthy or, if they're not capturing the right thing. And to make sure that folks are feeling like they have enough support and that we make sure that we wish these folks well, but also with people incoming, we want to make sure we provide them with all the resources they need to be successful. And I don't know how everyone feels about that.
I thought we made that a policy to do exit interviews when somebody leaves.
But I think we usually have the TA who does the exit interview,
Yeah.
not necessarily, we've never, as far as
When
I
I
know,
did
we've
one.
never got involved.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect opportunity to do exit interviews and be a little bit more proactive to make sure that we're not missing anything and that job descriptions are correct and that no one comes in and becomes overwhelmed.
And that people have the resources they need to be successful when they come into the positions.
Do you have a time in mind?
I don't necessarily have a time in mind, but I think, time is kind of the essence.
Yeah.
Where we have the first one coming up November 14th, we've missed that one. But November 26th, and then early December. So it gives us a little time. I just don't know how the board like to even proceed doing that, whether it's, select 2 select board members or what everyone, I don't know what everyone thinks.
Can you do it executive or would it have to be 2? What's
You can't
the,
really do it, well, the executive part's hard because it's.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I
It would
don't
be-
think you can do it exec.
Then it
all
would have
5
to be
members.
public.
You have to do 2. Well,
if either that or you do 2? Yeah.
think
And I
you
don't
need
know if
2
they'd feel
members.
comfortable doing it public.
I
So
don't think people would.
I think the only option is to choose 2.
2 members.
Am I wrong? Is there something else that I'm missing?
I feel like I'm missing something every day.
Well,
It started with my phone, the meeting, it happens. I don't know if there's a right answer. I also don't know if there's really a template for this. I think it's just, wherever we can help out and provide some assistance and resources, and then make sure that we're helping moving forward and making sure people.
Is this anything we should check with legal?
I mean, we could check with legal. I don't think we need to check with legal.
Okay.
If we really wanted to do an executive session, we would, but I don't even know which exemption we would do it on executive session.
yeah, that's
So
what-
it doesn't really fit any of them, is the problem. And, you know, we usually, I mean, usually it's just something the TA would do, but I think this helps take something off the plate. And also gives us an opportunity to support.
I have no objection, I just trying to figure out how we're gonna work this out.
I think we would, my thought would be that we would come up with 2 people from this board who would figure it out between the 2 of them and with these individuals and set up some exit interviews.
Yeah, I
And we
mean,
might even already have an exit interview template, I imagine we very much
we do.
may.
And the only thing, David Horn,
Yep.
he works full-time for the city of Worcester, right? I mean, you can't,
It would have to be during
Have
the
to be at
evening
night.
when
And
he works.
yeah, he lives down that way too, I don't know.
Well,
I
like
mean,
he
it's up
come-
to him whether he wants to do it or not, right?
True,
So
they
you make him the offer, and if he says, I'm all set, then we're good with it.
Yeah, but he
Right.
also comes here in person.
But it's
So-
you know, it's helpful to have, right? So we saw
Yeah.
even years in the past, we saw people leave, you know, towards the end of their career because there weren't enough benefits offered. Like,
Yeah.
we don't always necessarily know what's motivating someone to choose a different option, but this gives us an opportunity to have a little insight into it as well.
Okay.
And also sometimes these, you know, just one more thing to add on the plate, so why not help out?
I agree.
Are the 2 of you would be interested in doing that?
I don't have a problem doing it. I don't know if I'm the best choice, but I will gladly do it.
I'm always available unless I'm not.
I would, if, depending on how folks felt about it, I'd be happy to pair with Peter.
Okay?
And that, I think, gives us a little bit of a diverse perspective.
Oh, very diverse.
Okay. Any
Old and young.
objections to that?
I have zero objections.
Chris, you okay with that?
Yes.
All right, well, why don't we say that's the plan?
Okay, and then this,
And let us know how we're doing.
the second piece I wanted to mention, so since we have these here, I just want to make sure, so these last 2 positions are extremely important, the treasurer collector and the executive assistant. So I'd really like to see the town administrator put these job descriptions, make sure they're ready to go, at least initially, but also get them posted as soon as tomorrow.
Yep.
Because even with the 14-day window, it's really hard to find these positions, and it's going to take a while. And I don't think we have any days that we can waste.
Right, we
So-
need to, you know, accept these tonight and get it posted like ASAP.
So depending on how everyone felt, I'd be willing to offer, you know, a 3-part motion to accept these,
Yep.
to have Peter and I do attempt to do exit interviews with the 3 of the 4 people here. We could try Brendan, I don't know if he'll answer the phone. And then the third piece being directive to post these positions, open positions tomorrow.
Okay?
You guys okay with that? Before I make the motion? Jeff, will you accept the motion?
Yes, I will. Go
I'd
ahead.
like to make a motion that we accept the resignations of David Horn, Brendan McDonald, Mary LaRue, and Patricia Lowe, that we instruct Peter and myself to conduct, attempt to conduct exit interviews of each of these individuals, and that we instruct the town administrator to post these vacant positions tomorrow.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, opposed, motion carried, and I'll make sure I move that over to Nate, okay?
And then the last piece, so the marked drug and alcohol policy. So I did reach out to Nate on this today, and I know this is what he had received from them. If you review the documents, they talk, it's a 2017
yeah,
document,
it's very
version
old.
4.1 on the alcohol policy. So I guess I had 2 questions, right? Number 1, is there a reason we're accepting this now? Like, is it an annual thing? Because I don't remember doing it in the past. I could have blacked it out, but I don't recall. Why now? Like, did we just never do it and just realized it and that's why we're doing it? And number 2, it just seems weird, you know, I mean, maybe they don't update their policies for 8 years, but it just seems weird that we're doing a 2017 version. So before we approved it, I was kind of hoping we could reach back out to them or have Nate reach back out and get clarification.
Okay. This is, right,
Is the policy available to us?
It's in there,
It
and
is?
it does
It's in
very
there.
matter of fact say
I
It was brought up to me
2017.
by
I can't
Sharon
find it.
this past
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
What's it under?
That one was policy
Mark
update.
contracts, I think it was.
contract, yeah.
Contract?
No, that's not it.
I don't
Hold
have
on.
contract.
Hold on, you gotta find it. Everything's all wonky in this thing today. You're gonna, give me a minute. Policy review. Let's try this one. No, that one's that one as well.
You can keep going, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll find, when I find
Okay.
it.
All right,
Mark
let's
Cronk,
move
right
on then.
here. Right here.
Why don't we jump into, on the
Administrative matters.
Board of Health question?
Yeah.
Katie and Jeff.
Yeah,
Yep,
Or
what,
Katie.
what?
Jeff was starting to talk if you guys are still chatting.
I'm showing him where it is, sorry. I
Okay.
found it.
The reason it has been removed is on a technicality. Because this has to be a posted joint election, which we were about to announce in terms of there were two individuals. And it isn't, these are elected positions. So on a technicality, we cannot just go on that one name because there are two individuals involved. And it's an elected position. Consequently, it has to be posted.
For this meeting, for the meeting approval?
For a meeting approval for two elected, so your
It
board
has to be a
would have,
posted joint election.
would have to come,
That we're about,
be posted, have to come,
Yeah.
and you'd have to have a quorum, and then everybody'd have a roll call vote.
it's a technicality, but that's what we'd have to do. That's why we can't act on it tonight.
Okay,
All right?
sure.
Okay.
Just like how, if you look back a few meetings ago, we did it with the school committee.
School committee,
It's the same thing, everybody, both
Yeah.
committees come, it's posted in advance, both committees come, anyone that was running comes, and they can introduce themselves, talk. Everybody has a roll call vote, your board and ours.
Jeff,
Huh?
we're meeting on Monday for the tax classification hearing, and I believe the Board of Health is desperately waiting for another body.
Okay.
Would it make sense to just put that as a joint meeting if the Board of Health members would be available on Monday? And then we can,
If they're available, yeah.
If we have a majority, 3, would that be acceptable? I can certainly reach out to everyone.
And obviously, it would have to be posted as an open meeting, but basically, those are the only two things we'd be covering.
Yeah, and any applicants would have to be notified as well, that they
Yeah.
can come and speak.
and then for some reason, we could always post it, and if Kathy gets back to us and says her folks
Yeah.
aren't able to
Then we
all
can
come, then we just skip
Cancel
that
it.
item.
Yeah.
Keep us in on the,
So Monday,
for next Monday at 6:30 here.
okay.
Thank you,
I'll
Kathy.
reach out to everyone. Thank you for
Okay.
letting me know. Appreciate it.
All right, moving on to old business. Use of the first meeting house, to review continued requests and building use expectations. Before I turn that over to you, because I know this is what, I have a email that I got at 4 o'clock, I guess, today. So you may know this or not. It's from Tim Hawley.
Okay.
Okay, he says, "I understand from Brianna Whitney and from a member of the quintet that the Pioneer Valley Brass Quintet will be giving a performance at 5:30 on December 7th at the First Meeting House. I know there was a lot going on and just want to be sure whoever needs to know is aware of it. I am thinking the arrangements may have been made before the town acquired the building. Maybe all the communications have already happened, but I've not seen any publicity about it yet. And I'd appreciate if you could spread the word about the concert. Who's the contact person? We obviously have to have someone. For special events in the town, that might be you. And who is the contact for the lighted sign by the firehouse? That is you.
Wow.
So I'll give
Yeah,
that to you, okay?
It's not completely me, but yes. So I still have the stuff from our last meeting, the facility use meeting temporary policy. And I also have the temporary use request form because I held on to it. And honestly, so the meeting house, if you're gonna use it, if we're gonna use it, we heard back from the insurance.
Yep.
Insurance is fine. There was this past weekend, the Hubbardston Community Theater did their practices there, and it was fine. And again, there's already a scheduled, the quintet is coming. That's an annual thing that is scheduled. But realistically, we need something to run on so that way, A, people can use it, and B, also we don't overlap and it gets all screwed up. Now, I will say this form is pretty basic. The questions I have for it is basically, it needs someone in the town offices to accept these and keep them organized, whether it be the town clerk or something to that nature, and it goes on a calendar. So A, they don't overlap, and we make sure that we're making good decisions on using them, because people will have to unlock doors and have keys or something to that effect. And also there will need to be cleanup afterwards, which brings me to my second thing about this is, my question is if we allow an outdoor entity, in other words, not the town proper entity and not a nonprofit, like say someone wants to request it for a small wedding or something. There's a certificate of insurance attached, but in my mind, there should be a fee because someone's going to have to stand there and we have to pay them, and we also have to pay to clean it. So there should be some kind of fee attached if it's a non-town use.
Is this something that could be turned over to the committee?
I would not have the committee involved in this, and
Okay.
here's my reason why. I'm also going to say something that may be a little controversial. I think this draft should be a little bit broader, and it should go under anything that is town use, whether it be the senior center, the rec field, open space, if they're gonna do like the bike run and stuff like that. And here's my reason why. Most of the time, it is absolutely fine. Open space, if they have a bike run, it's fine. The senior center, if they have an event, it's fine. Field day, you know, Hubbardston Fair, that kind of stuff is usually fine, done by recs. But I will tell you 100% that I've had issues trying to do things and other entities show up regardless. And I almost had little kids run over by food trucks this past year, twice. Because there was little soccer games going on, even though they were told that it was not the day and they could not do it, they still came anyway. So I think it should be a master calendar and a master list of all of these, so that way we don't have these problems and it goes into one thing and there's one form and all kinds of filters through. I'm not saying that the groups shouldn't know about it because they're the ones that maintain these things, like Parks and Recs and Open Space, and they maintain those areas. But it needs to be something centralized so that way we don't keep having reoccurring issues, because I can definitely see the meeting house becoming a problem. And also, I've already personally had problems at the rec field. And now with the senior center being much larger and more of a space, if others want to use it, I worry that it will either be squashed, not allowed, or it may overlap with meetings and such. That is my personal 2 cents. And again, we are a board of 5, and everyone may have a different opinion than me, and I'm fine with that. But I just know from personal experience, those are some of the issues I've had.
Who would oversee this?
Somebody in the town offices.
They have to go to town
It would,
office?
yes, and there should be a master calendar that things are put on, so that way they do not overlap. And I don't see there being too many problems with this. In the wintertime, you may have more of a problem of indoors compared to outdoors in the summertime. But, like, I've had baseballs come flying through the Hubbardston Fair, even though they were told they couldn't. They still came, and they still had baseballs come in. One vendor got hit one time by a baseball. So, again, this is problems I've had, and I have said them, but yet we keep reoccurring. So, I would like to not get sued, personally, or the town, and I would like there to be some kind of calendar that this kind of stuff goes on, that anything that has to do with town property needs to be put on, so that way, again, they don't overlap.
Would they also, this is also where they would get the application?
Yes, yeah, and if it's something, because like if a personal person wants to request the rec field, they have to come up with a certificate of insurance and things like that. There's not really, I can't see why there would be a fee ever for that, unless you want to turn into a fee for, you know, cleaning porta potties and stuff, if they wanted exclusive use. But the meeting house, there definitely gonna be fees that we incur by using it. But if we don't use it, then we have problems with, you know, things getting not used, possible, you know, septic, plumbing, you know, because you're not using it, doors that, you know, start to get janky and things swell and, you know, no one's paying attention because nobody's going in there. If anybody else wants to put their 2 cents
I
in.
do. So, who's gonna be approving that?
Well, that's the whole thing. This itself would be a use. There is no entity to approve this right now.
No, so that something has to be, there gotta be, I mean, if something, so outside, people that don't live, non-taxpayers in town can use this
Well,
facility?
there's a policy
Yeah,
that was put forth
yeah.
with a draft template. And this can be tweaked, so you have to hit a certain criteria. But as of right now, that's what was proposed.
Is this
If-
what the committee came up with?
No.
Okay.
No, the committee has not even met yet.
Okay.
But regardless, the committee is to oversee the building itself. This day-to-day is gonna be
Administrative.
Yeah, is gonna, like, that's something that is gonna be very problematic at best to do by a committee that's going to meet once a month.
Does that say anything on there about outside people wanting to use the church?
Well, there's certified, here.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is if there's an iffy, somebody wants to use it, that, how do I put this?
We can make it so there's not, it's only by town people. I mean, it's not
Well, then the
like,
quintet couldn't play there.
no, because that would be, if we sponsor it,
Oh, okay.
something like special events or the
You just said
town
a
proper.
wedding, but you said a wedding.
Well, that would be different, that would be a complete
So
private.
is the use of this just for town people? Does it say that in the policy?
It says.
Town taxpayers.
Conditions of use, the building must be left clean, I don't like that, hold on. Insurance and fees, liability, duration, request procedure. There is no use of First Meeting House available to town departments, boards, committees, recognized 501c3 nonprofit organizations, Hubbardston-based civic, culture, and educational programs, regional partners working in collaborations in the town. So right now, and then it drops down to private, commercial, and for-profit events are not permitted during the temporary use period. So right now, temporary use, this is temporary. But to make a permanent policy, we could add those. Right now, it's, this draft says no.
Well,
I'm not
I
a,
think eventually.
Yeah.
Katie, can you pass the policy down
oh,
for review?
yeah, this was last meeting. This was our last meeting packet. And
Who's last meeting?
ours,
The October meeting.
I don't remember seeing that.
that was in our packet.
I think it's a good idea, but I think also.
I think it may need to be tweaked.
Exactly. From the way you're
Yes.
describing this, we need to determine who in the town offices is going to handle this. you
Yep.
know, in that sense. And if there is a question of fees or not a fee,
Yep.
town and others who could use
Yeah, and
it.
who's gonna approve
Yeah.
that can use it?
Right.
I mean, you can't put that on the, whoever's,
Do you want me to dive into it some more and see what I can work out, or do we want
Well,
to
this was your
kick
idea,
it?
I think.
Well, that's what I mean. No, it wasn't my idea. It was,
Well, when you spoke to me about it. okay,
yes.
yeah.
It was initiated because we have the First Meeting House, and I am a firm believer of if you don't use it, why do we have it?
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell did we take the Meeting House if we're not gonna use it as the town?
I'm with you on that, yeah.
And it's perfect for a community setting, especially in the wintertime, when we can't do things at the rec field or at Mount Jeff or outside, you know, it's like just November 30th when we're gonna be singing. We've always sang outside. We have froze our behinds off. How many years?
Go
Poor
inside.
Rick's fingers, I thought were gonna pop off one year. I had gloves for him, cut the fingers off so he could play. It'd be great if we could go inside without a problem. The same with the quartet and things like that, the quartet's already been pre-scheduled. It's an annual thing that's been
Yeah.
going on since forever.
Do you know who's sponsoring it?
That is something from the,
Mass Cultural Council.
Anybody?
yeah, it's
No?
the
Do you
Mass
know?
Cultural Council but isn't it because they closed the Quabbin?
Yep.
Yeah,
Paid for through the, lost.
the Lost Towns or something,
Something
because
of that.
Prior to our acquiring the building, what would have been the procedure to how they would handle this on December 7th? Who was,
the church.
the church people?
Yes.
Be the
Yeah.
ones who were there?
Yes.
Because again, my question is, all right, who's going to be there December 7th?
Well, that's the whole thing. I can be there,
Other
it's
than the
not a big
performance,
deal.
you know?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be in authority there.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's between, I have zero problems opening doors. We also do have people that are willing to go and open doors because you can't just let random people have
You got to have
keys.
heat too.
Well, the heat's on, but yeah. And that's part of the thing of you're gonna have to pay to, restock toilet paper and clean it and things like that after it's been used. And, someone to unlock the door, maybe somebody to stay there throughout the time.
Would this require police,
This, no. I would not say
the
police.
concert? It doesn't? Okay.
No, is never in the past,
So
ever.
that policy needs to be updated because, I mean, we need to know who can use, who is available to use that building.
Yeah.
Whether it be, I mean, if you got somebody, like somebody mentioned a wedding.
Well, I did because someone in the past has said something to me.
Yeah.
Not that they wanted to, just
Yeah.
what if. It was more of a what
Yeah.
if. Because these
Right.
are all scenarios that are the what ifs. What happens if someone comes forward?
Katie's willing to take it on and try to,
Are we at a spot right now where we can kind of do one-offs before the board until we get a handle on it? Like, are we getting that many requests yet that?
No, I will say 100% that I did put in cultural council money. There are also a few other people that are looking to use it over the winter.
So is it possible that you can work with staff and folks and try to see if you can work with Nate as well and
Yeah.
get that more for?
Because the
an
first
upcoming
thing
meeting?
was this past Sunday that happened, and then this is the second.
And those were the two we were most concerned about.
Yeah, the only other one was I did want to do brunch with Santa there, but if it doesn't happen, so be it. It's not end all be all. I can always go back to the school and ask for the school to be used. I just thought it was a nice little different, let's try it kind of thing, see how it works. But again, we can do things in different areas and we can work on this. I know I did put in for cultural council for a winter market, and also to put in for 2 concerts. I did do a movie thing, but that's not gonna be allowed because of the way the cultural council money has to go. Now, if this doesn't get approved and those go to the wayside and we can't do it, then I just tell the cultural council to put the money somewhere else, like I can't use it for that, it's not gonna be allowed or permissible from the town side, which is fine. It's not like we lose that money or it goes away, it just will go to a different avenue. But regardless, we still need, if we're gonna use the building,
Yeah.
if we're going to hold on to a building, we should use it and we should have a policy and how to use it correctly. So that way it's, yeah, of course.
How are the facilities in that building currently working?
It's got new toilets, doesn't it?
How are the facilities currently working then? We had.
Is everything functioning?
Everything
currently?
everything is functioning.
Okay.
Everything has been checked out.
Okay.
Plumber brought up some very obvious issues. The toilets have to be replaced as well as the faucets. Travis and I went to Mackey today, got the 2 toilets, got the 2 faucets, so they will be
That's
replaced.
the thing.
He looked at the plumbing, gave me an estimate for what needs to be fixed in the plumbing. It needs a new hot water heater. It needs a new pressure tank.
Okay.
And all of the piping
See, that
currently
doesn't
under the crawl
say,
space that is up against the field stone basement is no longer being insulated, so that obviously has to be
Commercial.
addressed.
Surprise.
I have Peterson Oil coming in to take a look at the boiler to make sure that everything is perfectly A-okay,
Furnace.
especially now that the heat is on. The heat is on, the heat is up, because it was set to too low of a temperature. The heat wasn't coming down into the basement where it's needed. And the facilities are clean, and their room report, they said everything was beautiful for this past Sunday for the auditions.
may I ask a question? It's the holiday season.
Mhm.
We obviously have people that are going to be using it. After the holiday season, would you say historically it just has
It
not
did
used?
pretty much stop, yes, in the
My
past.
point being, if you want to take this and get us a temporary way of running through the holidays.
Okay.
As far as people there in charge, et cetera, and then when the holidays are done, really jump on getting this thing really organized.
Okay, well, because the monies that I asked for start in January for the cultural, the end of mid-January.
Just so we can get through December.
Yeah, no, we can come up with a temporary draft that's a little bit more permanent, and they can be brought to it. Right now, we only have this one right now set in stone. Am I wrong? There's no others correct at this point in
There's been
time?
inquiries, but that's the only
Yeah.
one that's set in stone.
Yeah, this
Other than
is the
December
only,
7th.
just the December
Just December
7th.
7th.
Yeah.
That was one of those ones that was in
I've-
perpetuity.
yeah, I've been
If it
waiting
hurt,
to
Please still happen.
have something more permanent to
I mean,
request.
this answers what, I mean, I asked my questions, what if somebody wanted to, it says private, commercial, or for-profit events are not permitted during this temporary use period.
Yes, this would be,
So-
well, this is temporary.
Yeah, so,
And that's what he's saying, to have something a little bit more temporary, to
Yeah.
work with some kind of the town to see who can keep this as a schedule, to keep it organized in that way. And then I can bring it back Monday if you want with, no.
We don't know if he's gonna
Oh.
be able to. make it, so we
Okay,
wanna keep
sorry.
that agenda to just
Then we
ask
can bring
what's-
it back to a future one and just keep this one by itself. And then we can move forward with a temporary / maybe something a little bit more permanent, because nothing says it has to be temporary, it could be permanent if you guys like it enough, or if there's like small tweaks we can make, and then there we go, we're good to go. Did anybody?
If I could for a minute.
Yeah.
Do any of you have any thoughts on this? As you're hearing what we're trying to work out, because it's, the town's building now, and you're the town, and many of you are the people who are really the shakers and the movers here, so.
What would be wrong with being a little more restrictive and say it could be used by town groups or town-sponsored events by town groups? It should be responsibility of some group, not necessarily let anyone and his brother come in just because of the space. Like, whatever.
You mean?
You mean just not only having it for nonprofits and town entities, local?
Right, well.
In other words, not for not-for-profit or not private
Right.
entities like
Yes,
weddings or
just-
such like that.
If somebody squawks, why don't we just keep it?
I'm not
Close.
for or against it. It was a question that was asked.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it will never happen, or maybe it will happen rarely, but I'd be in favor of leaving it for the town, people in town-related activities.
Leave the private entities alone for now.
Yeah. Like, we don't really need to have like a Saturday, I can't use a good example, but flea market where we sell
excuse me.
socks and crap and everything like that, like Rieta comes down every
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then, you know, or motorcycle gang wants to have their annual party in there.
That would
Something.
be epic.
Whatever.
Really bad. Just on so many levels. So many levels.
Oh, you don't like the Hells Angels?
No, not to have a party in there, no, that would be a bad idea. But no, I agree with you, it can go sideways real quick on, it's a slippery slope.
Right. So unless somebody squawks, like, says, well, this is unconstitutional, I gotta get civil liberties union, why can't we use this space? You know, until that happens, just forget about it.
Well, because the
Get about the
taxpayers own it.
public.
Well, no, he's saying to a private entity.
Yeah, whatever.
Um,
Somebody that's not sponsored by a group,
Yeah,
town. If they wanna have a concert or something, that's different.
yeah,
Or they wanna have a.
So,
you know,
like-
quilting bee, whatever, that's fine, you know.
yeah. So like a winter market that's sponsored by special events would be different than a random flea market that's held by, somebody from
Right, they can
Bloomfield.
pay the
you know?
rent. I
Yeah,
can pay the rent.
yeah, that's,
$200 and we'll have us a time every week.
yeah.
I don't know if you can do that.
Sir?
Yeah, Tim Harley, 35 Mount Jefferson Road. It probably makes sense to have the policy set up in such a way that town organizations or individuals would have priority. And I can see the benefit of limiting it that way. But on the other hand, we've heard a lot about an interest in more commercial development in town. And, you know, maybe some organization from out of town would want to use the space, and it would stimulate economic activity within the town to have that group using it. So there's pros and cons to
Yeah,
limiting it.
yeah.
And it makes, I think your idea of doing something temporary for now is perfect.
Yeah.
And keep it limited, but for the long term,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to try to figure out.
No question. And to Rick's point, and to me, one of the pros of that would be if it was an organization that was going to have something there, with the organization, you get the people who will oversee it and be responsible for taking care of it and cleaning, etc. So that's built in as opposed to having to have town.
Well, I don't know about cleaning it, but
Well,
clean
you
up
know-
after themselves generally,
Yeah.
yes, not leaving
Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah, in my experience with arranging funerals mostly, churches have schedules for how much they charge for different uses of their buildings. So coming up with a fee schedule, depending upon, you know, what kind of cleanup you need, what kind of people you need to be there during the event. It makes sense to have a fee schedule with different amounts for different types of activities.
Well, thank you for your thoughts. Anyone else before I
Yeah.
try to end it? Yeah.
Didn't we put together a committee for this building just to handle this?
No,
No,
we
we
put
didn't.
together a committee for the building to look at the long-term usage and upkeep of the building, not how to fix it, you know.
So should this committee not be involved in this process to
At this point,
determine a policy of who and how and maybe a fee structure and
that could be brought to,
things associated with that? And I understand that we're kind of under the gun to get this thing squared away for a couple of particular events, but if we can put together a temporary document, maybe we could partner with the committee going forward to come up with a more permanent document that, you know, works for everybody.
I'm not against that. My thing is like I said in the beginning, when you have a committee that right now was being looked at to meet once a month to look at the overall structure and the bigger problems of the building, to do this little tedious, and I'm not saying this is tedious at all, but it will be tedious, and also to keep everything straight when it should go through the town offices.
I'm not suggesting the committee keep it straight. I think the committee should be part of the process to create a policy
Long-term.
of who can use it. Maybe there's a fee structure involved with it. Maybe, you know, they determine or they voice their opinion about if it can be just strictly town folk or people from outside. You know, if you want to put something forward that we can get by with, I mean, until the committee meets for their first meeting, we can do that, but it should absolutely be temporary until the committee gets their input into their
Okay, so basically you're
opinion about the
looking,
document.
you're suggesting that the long-term, we do a temporary one, we approve it here, and then a long-term one be brought to the committee
We
to go
approve
over
it here
it.
because we've got people on the calendar that want to use this thing sooner than later, right? I mean, I think that's what I understand. So if we can put something together here temporarily that covers our bases as a town, then we can open it up to the committee that we put together to work in partnership with them to get a more final document about what we want to do.
That sounds like a plan too. So
That's fine by me.
you want to run with it on the temporary
I'll
one?
do, let me run with the temporary, I'll bring it back to you guys, at our next
1st?
scheduled
How about December 1st?
technical meeting, December 1st. And then we can kick it over to the actual committee for long-term usage. But that should take care of the immediate, at least the winter time, or at least the beginning of the winter.
Which is all we're trying to get through. By. Yeah.
Something, so
All right.
that way we can move forward. All
All
right,
Thank you all for contributing to that. Appreciate it. And Katie, thank you. moving on, private way plowing policy. We have Travis, right?
What the hell just binged? Was that me?
No.
Okay.
Let's hear from Travis. What basically we want to try to accomplish tonight is to make a motion to accept the town of Hubbardston's private way plowing policy dated as of tonight.
So before you get started, Travis, did you receive the legal's review of the policy in the red line version?
Yes.
Hold on, sorry.
Can't hear you.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yes, between their version and mine altogether, you should have that version in front of you.
Can you turn that up at all?
That's as high as it goes,
As
Jeff.
high as it goes,
Oh,
Jeff.
God.
Do you want to slide your chair over so you can hear just for
If
this?
you turn it
Well,
around.
they're trying to listen too, and
Okay.
I can hear him.
No.
So what Travis just said is that, yes, the policy, the one that you see in front of you is with my edits, well, Travis's edits, I added into the edits from KP Law.
Okay, so which document, just to be clear, I thought
Yeah.
there were two documents
There's
there.
two. Which one is it?
Oh, you've got
There's two.
There's
Well, right of entry is one, so maybe that's the second.
There's two documents there because one is the liability
Okay.
waiver.
Oh,
The
okay.
other is the
Then it's this one.
KP Law edits and Travis's edits. And then I have what we edited in front of me.
Got it?
Nope.
My phone.
I
Yeah.
think there's too many on the internet at this point.
Yeah, I noticed it was moving a little,
the summary that I've got here for the policy, it says that defines the eligibility for town assistance on private roads, indemnification requirements, minimum roadway conditions, and operational boundaries for DPW. So that's a summary of what is contained in there, so.
Yep.
Okay, so Travis, everything that's in this document, are you in agreement with?
As long as we're on the same document.
Well, how about we do this for the sake, if Jeff will allow it, for the sake of the public, since they don't have the document in front of them, how about I just scoot on down through some of these edits?
Yeah, can
So
you
that we
read
can
it?
all make sure we're looking at the same thing, is that okay?
Okay.
Jeff?
Yep.
Okay.
Mine's not opening.
So this is the private way plowing policy framework, standard operating procedure. In the purpose section, the only thing that they changed, I believe it was legal's edit, just putting policy in parentheses, so they can reference it much quicker later on. Under legal authority and guidance, there was a partial sentence added after referencing a ballot vote. In parentheses, it was added at the town election of May 7th, 1984, and the town election of May 7th, 2002. So it's just adding the dates of the specific votes taken. Scoot down a couple more bullets. Under funding, it said annual town meeting. The adjustment was made to strike the word annual, so it's just town meeting appropriation. It doesn't have to be an annual. Everyone's okay so far?
Yep.
KP, you good? All right, policy statement. Number 3, designated by the select board, added in its sole reasonable discretion. So in its sole reasonable discretion, we're added in lingo. Number 4, funded by town meeting, so it did say ATM, so it was spelled out, and again, the annual part was dropped. And number 5 was added. This policy shall not apply to snow removal from sidewalks along private ways. The only change I see right there is the "and" should actually switch over to the second to last one, not the third one, so I'm just gonna hold them there. Okay. Let's see, next, there's a section that is added. I assume this is also legal language. Legals, the town's obligation, if any, related to snow and ice removal and maintenance of public ways is in no way impaired by this policy. The obligations of the owner of any private or other entity obligated to plow snow pursuant to any subdivision, special permits, or development agreements shall not be altered by this policy. Assume everyone's good with that? Okay. Now I have a question for either Tricia or Travis. So the next is highlighted in yellow. Any guesses?
that is all KP.
Okay, so some of that stuff, okay. So KP added this or they highlighted it?
I think the highlighted version was sent to KP, She
Okay.
did make edits in the highlighted version, I noticed. Some words were added in.
Okay.
But because this was the highlighted version, Nate sent her, not the one that Travis has edited and sent to Nate. So Travis edits never made it that far.
So are Travis's edits incorporated into this document?
Yes, now they are.
Okay, all right. So I'll read these out loud, if that's okay. So the first one is open to public use. It's adding a definition here. A road only qualifies under Massachusetts Supreme Judicial precedent if the way is actually open to use by the public for purposes of travel, not merely incidental to its use by permission of the owners. Money raised by taxation can only be used for public purposes and not for the advantage of private individuals. Therefore, the road must be of such design and location that the general public is able to use the road, other than as a guest or invitee of abutters to that road. The opinion of the Justices to the Senate, 313 Mass 779, 783, 1943. The width here, minimum roadway width of 15 feet. Travis, that's you, right?
Correct.
Okay. Vertical clearance was changed from a minimum of 14 to a minimum of 20 feet. Okay. Conditions, surface must be passable and safe, and then there's a few sentences added. This includes that the road surface must be paved or hard-packed gravel capable of being plowed without causing damage to plowing equipment. The road must be free of defects, parentheses, potholes or rutting, close parentheses, exceeding 3 inches in depth. The DPW has final discretion to determine whether a private road surface is passable and safe for the town's plowing equipment. Oh, KP did that, okay. Let's see, roadway design, the road must have an area sufficient for a plow to turn around and a location for snow to be placed unless written permission and waivers are obtained to allow storage on private property. Exclusions, let's see here. There's a comment. Do you know, Tricia, in that comment, when it says author, who the author is? I'm assuming it's legal.
It's legal. All the one that say author is legal.
Okay.
She had a question on that one. I couldn't answer it, so I leave that up to
So it
you.
looks like you still have some outstanding pieces here, but I don't know if Travis has a thought on this one. So the question in the comment, I don't know if you have it open on your computer, Travis, but it says, I don't understand why we would exclude subdivision roads constructed after January 1985. Does this mean any subdivision road constructed before January 1985 will be plowed by the town regardless of the current condition of the road? What is a subdivision road constructed after January 1985 has been maintained in good condition, otherwise meets the eligibility, oh, that was good.
Eligibility.
Eligibility.
Whatever Peter said, standards. Where do you stand on that one, Travis?
I think that they're talking about anything older than that. Not maintained wouldn't be up to subpar plow because of drainage and stuff like that. As for something new, they would have, especially for subdivision, would have proper drainage. Most likely be paved, something like that.
All right, so do you find the importance of that sentence? Are you recommending that we leave it in, the unaccepted subdivision roads constructed after January 1st, 1985 are excluded? Or do you want to strike that sentence?
So it'd be after 1985.
Exclusions, unaccepted subdivision roads constructed after January 1st, 1985.
Do we have any?
That's just to protect you in case we ever did.
Okay.
We don't know about.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to leave that, there's a reason for it, you want to leave it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Was the answer.
Okay, next. Roads deemed unsafe or inadequate after inspection by the Director of the Department of Public Works, and roads that are merely a shared driveway, so they had a comment on that as well. Did you see that comment, Travis? Technically, any private way could be considered a shared driveway. Do you mean to exclude shared driveways servicing fewer than 3 residential properties? You might also consider excluding shared driveways servicing commercial properties such as in a strip mall. What say you, Travis?
Kind of a, we don't have any strip malls, so I don't know really,
We have little ones. Yeah, we have strip malls.
A strip mall.
No,
a strip mall,
Two.
Pizza Palace or.
Pizza Palace and then the Hub Market area.
Yeah. And we're not gonna do that.
The Diner.
Yeah, that's the Hub Market.
Together with that.
Well, those on private ways, so they're.
Well, I'm just saying, we do have strip malls.
Do you,
They have their own plowers,
Yeah.
yeah.
do you find it worthwhile to make a clarification here based on their recommendation where that roads that are merely a shared driveway and then specify that they're servicing fewer than 3 residential properties?
If it's a driveway, we don't feel we should be plowing it, no matter what it entails. The roads that are merely a shared driveway, so it's stating if it's a driveway and this house is sharing to it, it's excluded.
But I think they're saying here that, you know, theoretically, any private way could be considered a shared driveway. So they're saying if you're gonna use that language, maybe we wanna add a qualifier to it and say that a shared driveway is something with less than 3.
Didn't that come up that when we did our first public hearing, that painters?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically a driveway, yeah.
It was classified as a shared
Driveway.
driveway,
It's more than 3 residents.
but there's more than 3 residents, and so, and that private way that's the 3 houses that's right next to the market, like you go down it.
Yeah.
Isn't that technically a shared driveway, and it's only like 3 houses down there, but
That's-
it's considered
It's
a
a
private
street.
way?
That has a street
It's a street
name.
It's a street name.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a street name.
Interesting.
you're talking about,
Private road's gonna have a street name, it's just everybody owns to the center of the road.
Oh, all right.
So what do we wanna do with the sentence?
You want to do anything with that, Travis?
Did you have a question? You look like you,
No, I was just thinking private ways have public access. Driveways don't.
I would say it had to have, what is it,
No.
say, 3 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess you would just leave it that way. I can understand if it had a house on it, then it's pretty much a driveway.
Okay.
Printers
so-
Brook
So on-
Technically close,
is
I would say
open to the
3 or
public,
more.
even though it's
Is
a
that what it said,
driveway.
3 or more.
Yeah, so it would, this is what I have, and please listen, because I tend to get things mixed sometimes. Roads that are merely a shared driveway, comma, servicing less than 3 residential properties. Is everyone okay with that? You okay with that,
Yeah.
Travis? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, application and waiver, under the requirement, adds the language, application granting the town permission to enter onto the private way for the purpose of snow removal and execute a waiver of liability, holding the town harmless for any damage caused by the town's plowing of the private way. Everyone's good with that?
Yes.
Okay. Threshold, default 100% of abutters. So there's a comment here. See attached suggested waiver of liability form for abutters. We do caution, however, that the town may not get all abutters to sign, in which case, the town needs to decide whether to require this or omit this requirement. What if property owners change over 3 years and a new owner does not sign a waiver of liability?
Don't plow it.
yeah.
So how do we want to address that?
So the threshold default that I'm looking at, application and waiver, says default 100% of abutters. So you need to have 100%, no matter what. It's like dealing with street or road. You know, you needed 100%. You went against the last abutter at the end and had nothing but problems. And that's honestly their problem. So if they don't want you to plow it, and they don't want you to plow it, it's unfortunate for everybody else on the road. But that is the rule. If it's going to be plowed, that everybody has to be in agreement, 100%.
I agree with that.
I do too.
KP, you okay with that?
Mhm.
Jeff?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So, a couple other comments, a couple more things here. That's all for the comments. Under requirement and application of waiver, nope, I just did that one. No, I didn't, okay. They look similar for a while. Let's see, granting the town permission to enter onto the private way for the purpose of snow removal and execute a waiver of liability, holding the town harmless for any damage caused by the town's plowing of the private way. And we scoot down here a little further, annual workflow, so a couple of changes. Under responsible party for the August 1st date, it changes it from TA/DPW to TA/resident. September 1st changes the task, application cycle ends, no applications accepted after September 1st. DPW submits draft eligibility list, that's DPW/TA. September select board meeting, let's see, select board reviews and designates eligible roads and total number of roads available under appropriation. Next line, annual or special town meeting is a change. Operational rules, third bullet, maintain year-round access to the public. Budget integration, town meeting article required, it got rid of the ATM piece. The draft language is there, and there's no other changes. Was there anything else, Travis, in that?
No, I do have a question though. This is a little further back up in the beginning. It did state that it had to be for public use. So in other words, the street or road could be a public use road because you could drive through it, get from one end of town to the next. But if you're getting from plowing these private ways, saying, okay, they're gonna be open to the public, knowing no public is gonna actually go up there because it's a dead end. You know, I don't think there's any private way left in town that is a true way. So that if you're going by what it says, that it's to be open to a town road for use, to go more or less through way, it just doesn't make any sense.
That's
that
right.
we're doing what we're doing with what we're doing.
So are
With the
you,
private ways.
so are you suggesting elaborating on the definition and saying that it has to be a throughway?
To be used for public.
What does the town have to do with, it's saying for
That's the
town
one that
use,
we're
right?
doing.
So open to the public. What is the public really
Richard,
gonna
you
do
know,
with a dead end road?
Well, isn't this part of the law that allows us to do this? The public has to have use to use it?
Well, that's what defines a private way, what's one of the definitions.
But under this falls under a law in the state, correct? And one of the things
Falls
is,
under the law of the state that you can plow.
if the taxpayer is paying to have that private way plowed, they should have use of it also. That's what they're trying to say.
And nobody can, well, basically, nobody can stop them from going up there.
Correct.
Would they have a reason? No, not really. You still have like FedEx, UPS, things like that. Oil people, if an ambulance needs to get up there or fire department needs to get up there to trek through the woods or whatever, or to one of the houses, it needs to be open to the public because they are the public. But
They would be stopping them though. That's a necessity.
well, if it's not plowed, how would the fire department get to a house?
They'd use their plow.
Honestly, it's on the private
That's why you want to
road.
plow.
Wow, I'm playing devil's advocate, Travis, because I hate this whole policy just as much as you do. But again, it's part of the taxpayer dollar. It is state law that was accepted at a town meeting a while ago, so that's why it's on the books. Now, should it be a throughway compared to a dead end? I don't know the answer to that. I have no idea if there's a difference between those two. And if that's what you're asking for clarification, I'm looking at everybody else what they think, because I have no idea what the answer is.
Did you want to comment on that, or?
Well, my comment was mostly what Katie just said, and I mean, fire department and the ambulance is one thing, but FedEx or Amazon or pizza delivery,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody wanting to go door to door to campaign for office or collect signatures on a petition or something. It sounds like the intent from legal is that any road that gets plowed under this has to be open for all of those uses. It doesn't matter whether it's dead end or not, it's just public money's being used for it, public should have access.
As opposed to a pseudo-gated community type
Well,
thing.
even that, or something that says at the beginning, no trespassing, no,
Yeah.
you know, no whatever at the entrance, you know?
Yeah.
Private property.
Like I said, and like he said, and like I said earlier, I think just that meaning is if the taxpayer in town is paying to plow this road, everybody has to be able to use the road. Now, it doesn't say anything about whether it's a through street or not, but they have to be able, if they want to go up there and sit in the turnaround and look at birds, they should be able to. That's what they're saying.
All right, so do we want to add any more adjustments or changes to the policy that we've gone through with the changes? Are we good?
We're good.
Well, I'd like us to be able to finish with this tonight, because we've been talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And
Forever.
we're in the season now, and he's got to know.
Okay, do you have any other issues, Travis, with that policy? Are we all done? Are we-
I did the edits, I saved a version of the copy, so
Okay.
now we just have to look at that, and there was in a second document, which was recommended by legal, and that's the right of entry form.
Yeah.
I think replaces what we probably previously had.
Mhm.
I have no objection to that, I don't know if anyone else took a
Nope.
peek or if they have any objections.
I had no,
None.
does Travis?
No objection.
He doesn't have any
Travis, you
issues with
okay?
that, right?
Are you good with it, Travis?
On the,
Right of
Right of
entry
entry.
form,
I don't have that in front of me.
The agreement form.
the legal form.
But did you even advise us on the original form that we used last year for printers broke and, no, because it was just administrative. Most of that is just administrative, because like I need their deed and stuff like that.
Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with
It was
Travis?
just, it was
Because I
mostly
can't
my-
reopen it right now, so.
No, I know. I tried to open
Yeah,
it several times. It-
They have it open down there, that's all that's allowed
Two of you are
to.
ready.
I think that's purely administrative for whoever is there to collect the deed, collect signatures, and put it forth.
Yeah,
So could I get a motion on the floor then to move to accept the town of Hubbardston's private way
See it
policy?
in there, but I know I had, it was on, maybe it's in this line of everything, but it was in,
he's looking.
it should have been in here, because I had put it in there, the fact that it was on the
What-
butters
What's he
of
talking
the
about
private
now?
way looking to be plowed. It was their responsibility to come to us at the end of the 3 years for asking, you know, filling out the applications, having all the abutters sign them,
It was good for
having
3 years.
everything ready, not us reminding them.
So in other words, Travis is saying that he doesn't think the town should actively go after people to remind them and babysit them for their paperwork, that the residents should come forth with their paperwork and,
I thought there was a cutoff date for that also.
Yeah, September 1st.
September 1st.
but what he's saying is he doesn't think it's
August 1st.
August 1st. sorry.
in that the town administrator or the executive, because I think last time it was Nate and Tricia that sent out a bunch of stuff. It was the town administrator's
It
office.
should be on the private ways residents for them to put the application, and we shouldn't have to send reminders, but.
Well, that's what I mean, it should,
So Travis,
That's
you
my 2
looking
cents
at,
too, but-
are you looking at application and waiver section 6, number 6, where it says renewal, valid applications renew automatically if DPW inspection confirms compliance, or?
Oh.
he's saying after the 3 years,
Because it says validity, applications are valid for 3 years.
yeah. And then what he's,
In other words, after that 3 years, now the town's responsibility to tell people, hey, your application is up. It is for them to have all their renewal applications with all the abutters agreements and all the paperwork that they need. It's up to them, and not up to the town, to remind them every 3 years for an application renewal.
Okay, how's this? So under renewal, I changed it, valid applications renew automatically if DPW inspection confirms compliance within the 3-year cycle for the annual, right? We should actually still fix that. At the end of the 3 years, residents are required to initiate the process and the application process.
Sounds good.
Does that work for you, Travis?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like that first sentence where it says renewal, though. I think I'm just gonna ex-nay. Okay, how about this? Let's try this again. At the end of the 3 years, residents are required to initiate the application process under renewal. Does that work?
Move forward.
He said,
Before August 1st?
Pardon?
Before August 1st?
Well, the timeline's down below, so they would just
Okay.
refer to the timeline.
So if we move on this.
August 1st is when the application has to come in, and September 1st is the end of the application date.
Okay,
so they have a month.
Okay.
yep. All right. Mr. Chairman, would you accept a motion? Oh,
Yes.
I got more questions.
Uh-oh.
And this right of entry document,
Here we go.
Mhm.
this is something that has to be signed and in the possession of the town before any plowing is done in conjunction with them meeting all that policy, correct?
Mhm. By each abutter.
Is the right of entry mentioned in the policy that we have to have those on file?
Mhm.
I
Okay.
would believe, wouldn't that be on that other form there that they gotta fill out, which is, might have that, what you're talking about on it?
Because there is a whole packet, correct, that they have to
There's
fill
no whole
out?
packet, that's
Yeah.
just the abutters, the legal
The-
liability
yeah, that wasn't
waiver.
there before.
That's not part of the original packet
Yes,
that will
that's-
go out. It's
and-
like,
Okay.
that doesn't mention the deed, it doesn't mention, parcel number, map number, or anything like that.
No.
I'd like to ask a question. Can we move on this, or are we gonna have to put it off again? Because this is like the third
I
time
I
meeting.
think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close if there's no more, I don't know
You
if
really
Chris
good?
has any more questions,
All
though.
right, we're ready for a
No?
motion.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the changes to the private way plowing policy framework and standard operating procedure and along...
Dated as of today, dated.
Sure, dated as of today, along with the right of entry that we've just reviewed.
So moved.
Motion made and second. Any further question or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? It's passed.
Thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Travis. Thank you, Heather. Okay,
Poor Travis.
moving on, Municipal Complex Building Committee proposed charge. This has to do with the
Yeah.
people that are in it, because I have a thing, it might be, thanks, Rick, might be different now, I'm not sure, but this,
So I'm happy to do that, jump into that one, Jeff, if you're okay
Okay.
with it. So at the last meeting, we did discuss the charge for the public safety building complex. We were looking, the committee had met and we were looking at modifying our charge,
Yep.
just because so many things have changed. We also looked at the composition of the membership of the committee. We had proposed adding on a position that represented town offices, whether it was rotating or
and can I
specific.
interrupt you? At that point?
I can't, but I'll follow up with that for you if you'd like.
Okay, because I can read.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a discussion about whether or not that should be a position that's added. It came from the committee that was. There was some discussion about whether or not it should be. Since then, the select board has received correspondence from a few members of the town hall staff, and they have indicated that they are interested in fulfilling that, that seat on the committee. So at this point, we had continued the review of the committee charge to tonight's meeting for the purposes of giving everyone a little bit more time to think about it, asking questions they may have, but we do have an upcoming meeting in early December. We could probably still wait till after the December 1st meeting if we needed to, if folks wanted a little more longer to think about it, but
Okay.
otherwise, I think the biggest thing is, understanding the committee charge as presented, seeing if everyone's good with it, and then looking at the composition. Remember last time we had talked about the recommendation from the committee to add that town office representative? And then at the last meeting, we also discussed whether we should be adding a spot for an ex officio seat for the town administrator as well. And then that brings us back up to, I think, an odd number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we definitely need somebody from the town offices on there. For sure. The ex officio is fine with me as the town administrator, but yeah, just to make a breaking point of an odd number for voting purposes. But I am very strong that we should have somebody from our town offices sitting on that committee, because it makes total sense.
You're wanting to put it off until December 1st?
No, I'm happy to vote today, but I'm
Yeah.
only one of 5.
Can we enter this?
I think I already summarized that. I don't think we need to read it.
Because we've got people who are interested, okay?
Yes.
All right. So then all we would need then is a motion to adopt the municipal complex building charge as amended and presented tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Oh.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Folks have been very patient out here. These next few things should go fairly quickly. Under new business, basically you have all the license renewals, okay, that we'll have to sign tonight before we go home.
Okay.
So basically, we just need the motion to adopt the municipal, to approve all 2026 licenses as they've been presented, and then we will have to sign them.
All right, so moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Again, remember, we need to sign them before we go home tonight.
Yep.
Holiday schedule. Okay, this has to do with reviewing and voting to adopt the 2026 holiday schedules. Basically, we have two choices for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, whether it's a half a day or a full day we're giving them.
Yeah.
And that's basically left up to us to do, so it's
And that's for the eve.
the eve, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, the day, no, well, no,
they're not open.
all the eves fall on Wednesday and all the days fall on Thursday. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
it fell very nicely. It's a super nice long weekend.
Oh, so 26, yeah.
So what's the
Yeah.
feeling of the board, a half day or a full day?
Half. Good time.
I could go either way, it doesn't
I
bother
like the
me.
full day, but
Yeah,
people have to travel.
I
Well,
agree.
Most of your other types of businesses are half-days, aren't they?
For the Thanksgiving Eve, it depends on the business. Some give it completely off, some have full work because they have stuff they have to get out, especially in food or retail. Anything that's adjacent to that, but a lot of offices do half days. And then some just are very
So that
giving and give the whole damn day.
day before comes and it becomes another paid day off?
Yes, correct, yeah. What-
Straight time, not a holiday day? It's just
It'd be
eight
straight.
straight eights?
Yeah. Chris, how do you feel, Heather?
Full day.
I think
agree.
especially this year, so one of the things that's always frustrating to residents, right, is to come in and not have someone to be able to provide the service they need.
A lot of people
Right?
are already taking it off.
So, well, that's part of the problem. The other problem is we may have some vacancies that we don't have filled by then.
Mhm.
And that just becomes more frustrating for people if there's someone who's not able to help them and, now there's one poor soul in the office. And I
Right
think it's
before the
just,
holiday.
I think it's just less stressful for our staff themselves as well as setting a clear expectation for the residents, that there's just no one in the office that day. So if they have business to do, they need to come the day before.
All right. Full day?
Full day.
Full day.
Whatever.
Full day it is,
I'm the
sir.
only one that said half.
Want to make a
so-
motion?
I'll gladly make
Save
that
the
motion
taxpayers some money.
to do the full day off on the eves.
Of Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
All
Yep.
right. Motion's made, is there a second?
Second.
And second, any further discussion?
3 extra days.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, opposed? So be it.
Well,
Okay.
they were
Um,
they were only working a half day.
Before?
Yeah. So I was just giving them the half
Oh, I
day.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
okay.
Are you
I don't
following
see
the
that we have
dotted
anything
ball?
on this budget.
That's why I said half.
There's something in there with the budget. It's in the
I didn't know
folder.
they did half days.
Yeah.
Moving to the FY27 budget and capital improvement schedule. We need to vote to adopt and begin the FY27 process.
Okay, and it's the same as he handed us from a few weeks ago.
Mhm,
Okay. If anybody needs to see it, I do have a printout of it.
Okay. Anybody?
Oh, that
Heather?
schedule piece, no. Are we doing that, or are we doing the policy and guidance? We're doing all of it, or what are we doing?
We
I'm sorry.
basically just have to vote to adopt and begin the process.
So are we voting, I'm sorry, it says here FY '27 budget and capital improvement schedule, but in my packet, it says FY '27 budget policy and guidance. Which are we voting on? Because it's two different.
This was from the 20th, and then he added a couple things of extra stuff
Because I have
in the
this, FY
updates.
'27 budget policy and guidance in the
Okay.
packet, but it's not on the
On-
agenda.
Yeah, it's budget and capital, just to adopt it.
So the reason I bring it up, right, and I don't mean to be a stickler on it, but the reason I bring it up because it gives guidance on what we're looking for people in their budgetary documents when we
Yeah.
do this, and the process that was submitted in our packets. And my concern is, especially with a lot of turnover going on, I'm a little hesitant to begin a modified version of what we did last year. So last year, whatever version we did for the budget, I would be more inclined to stick to it than trying to add a new version.
Is that
On
new,
how
or
we-
is it just, that's my, because now you're asking if it's new. I thought it was the same one, he's just pulling it over
Yeah.
to get the process started.
Right.
I don't, it said on here, all budget forms, capital requests, and narratives must be submitted through the town's digital form system.
That would be different through a digital, right?
And I presume,
Because the digital
that.
The digital
Hub
wasn't
Connect.
there last year, was it?
Tricia, can you shed any light?
It was there, the digital was there, so,
So-
I helped many people put in certain budgetary
okay, so
requests.
is anything changing from last year to this year,
The
to
way
your
the-
knowledge?
The form is definitely a change.
Okay,
and
the
way
form-
the process is definitely a change, but
Okay.
it's still online. Last year, I think it was a Google form that
Okay.
he had everyone fill out.
Okay,
And then this year, it's obviously gonna, most likely, I'm going to assume,
is in the Hub Connect
a
of some
Hub
sort.
Connect of some sort.
But last year it was a Google form.
Last year was a Google form for CIPC
Mhm,
and budget
okay.
Okay,
requests.
So is this, I guess my concern is with a lot of folks changing, is this gonna be the same process it was last year substantially, or is it gonna be very different? Like, I understand the difference between using the Google Forms and the Hub Connect, but if they're the same questions, you're just typing it into a different form theoretically.
Theoretically.
Okay, so there's no, okay, so I won't be over concerned with that. All right,
So,
with that being said, Mr. Chairman, unless anyone has any other questions, I'm happy to offer a motion.
yes, please.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the FY '27 budget policy and guidance, as well as the '27 budget and capital improvement schedule as presented.
Motion made
second.
and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes,
Yeah.
opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have the Bratco Conservation Restriction.
They're all still
North-
here.
North County
You're up.
Land Trust request.
I know, just like, don't fall asleep now. I know, sorry.
To summarize what, and then I'll give you the motion that we need. The North County Land Trust requests approval of a perpetual conservation restriction on 32 acres on Gardner Cutoff Road. The CR protects sensitive headwater resources, expands connected conservation lands, and preserves passive recreational trail access. The property remains private and taxable. The town assumes no maintenance or enforcement obligations. If and when we're ready to vote on this, the motion would be to approve the conservation restrictions for the Bratco property on Gardner Cutoff Road and authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the select board. That would be the motion we would be voting on. Are there any questions pertaining to this? Does anyone who wishes to speak to it?
Well, I think there's quite a few people
Okay.
who are here who,
So,
this
if
is
you
why they
would-
came.
This is, I know, they're at
Step
the
up
very
to
end.
and identify yourself and your address, please. Thank you.
Sure. My name's Anna Wilkins, and I'm the Director of Conservation and Climate for North County Land Trust, and thank you all for bringing this forward today. Been working with the Bratcos for about 2 years. This is again, a private conservation restriction, but has a lot of public benefit. the process for the Massachusetts process is that once the conservation restriction or easement gets approved by the state, it comes for local signatures. With this particular conservation restriction, because no public funds have been used, your role is to just acknowledge and affirm that there is public benefit here. Once you do that, then we'll take it back, and the Secretary of the Energy and Environment Affairs, Rebecca Tepper, she will sign it, and then we'll be able to record it, and it will be permanently conserved with a conservation easement, with North County Land Trust holding it. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm also really just here in case there was any questions or concerns or anything to ask about, but.
So this would be kind of open to the public
it's
for
open to the
hiking? Yeah,
Yeah, so.
like it's not like, I don't,
It's
how
not- so
open
it's-
is it?
What's that?
How open is it?
Well, so there is currently like a woods road
Mhm.
and trail that connects onto the DCR watershed property.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sign, it's sort of a neighborhood trail.
Yeah.
And that would certainly be up to the discretion of the Bratcos, whether or not they would like to put signage or not. Right now, they don't mind, I don't know if Jas, you'd like to speak to that piece, but they allow people to pass over that and enter the property from that direction, and it's very clear, the trail's very clear.
So I will tell you, I went, so this was years ago with my
Yeah.
kids. During 2020, we were, hiking because there was nothing else to do. And we started a little ways up at the head of the trail. There's got a little parking lot on 68, a little ways down the road, more towards the auto place, not John's, but a little further down.
Highbridge Road.
Yeah, that. We started there. And we were hiking, and we've never been down there. We were hiking, and the road forked, and there was a gentleman coming at us, and he said we asked where he came from, so we knew which way that went. It ended up, he said he came from Brigham Road somewhere. So we're like, okay, let's go this way. So the kids and I came out, and we ended up at this little spot, and we were like, okay, that just kind of dead ends, and we're at cows. Where are we? And I'm trying to figure out where I am, but I'm like, I know where I am. I'm on the Bratcos. And I was like, I know there's a trail that goes right by AAA if I could just figure out how to get there. So I will tell you, I have walked back in that general area. It's very nice, but yeah, if there's like some kind of point the right direction just to get from where it dumps you out on the backside to that trail, so that way people don't wander around in the middle, like in the field, like, I hope there's no male cows running around that are like gonna come gore me or yeah.
Not the male cows you have to worry
Yeah,
about,
I know.
it's the mamas.
Yeah, I know, or
you have to worry
anything,
about.
like, I hope no one, like, I'm like, me and the kids were trying to find. So my suggestion would be, from where that dumps out, just maybe like an arrow or something, so people don't go wandering around your property
Yeah, I mean,
unannounced and unaware of where they are.
we honestly have never posted our land.
No.
A lot of people, not a lot of people, but if people end up on our trails,
Yeah.
they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what happened
So,
with me.
Yeah,
Just,
no problems at all.
yeah,
DCR has actually just marked the trails.
Okay.
Not on our property. but
yeah,
Going from Highbridge Road,
yeah,
they've marked and named a couple of trails
oh,
back there. So that
okay.
might be-
So maybe there's better signage from when I was back there wandering around trying to figure out where I was.
For sure, for sure.
So we don't intend to put signs up on our property,
Yeah.
but it's never posted with people.
Yeah, wander through, yes,
As we do see people do that.
yeah. You probably saw me and the kids trying to figure out where we were
Yeah.
back in the day. Okay, sorry.
And that's written in the conservation
Yeah.
restriction, so it will, that opportunity for the public to walk across the land is in there.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Anyone on the board have any questions on this?
So I just have a quick question. So is it kind of a self-policing type thing if you're going in there? Or say I walk in there and I see some people there that shouldn't be there. What do I do? Squatters, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, I mean, you would call Jackie
Call
and
them,
Tom.
Yeah.
call Racco, yeah.
You know,
Or just
if you
visit
didn't
your
know,
house.
yeah, if you,
Hey, by the way.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's the only thing I'm concerned with.
yeah.
It's our responsibility to maintain the land.
Yeah, I read
That's-
that. I read the whole packet today.
Yeah.
And a reminder, to, as it ends, the summary, the town assumes no maintenance or
Yeah,
enforcement
I saw that.
obligations, so
Yeah.
it's not in our, purview. Anything else?
Nope. Mr. Chairman,
I'm
would
good.
you accept the motion?
Yes, I will, please.
I move that we approve the conservation restriction for the Bradco property on Gardner Cutoff Road and authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the board.
Motion made.
Second.
Second, any further discussion?
The whole board has to sign this.
Pardon?
The whole board has to sign this. and
I'd like to make
notarize
a
it.
friendly amendment to
Oh.
my
I'm
motion.
so sorry.
I'll just read that. I'd like to move to approve that we approve the conservation restriction for the Bradco property on Gardner Cutoff Road.
Okay,
So moved. Again.
all right.
Second, sorry.
Excuse me.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. So is that ready to be signed
We can-
It
tonight?
is ready to go.
So
Yay.
besides the
Yeah.
licenses, we have to sign that too, okay? Finally, we have the memorandum of understanding for Quabbin Regional School District and the Hubbardston Center School. This essentially has to do with the boiler,
Yep.
okay? So it's basically a vote to authorize the appropriation town representative to sign the, excuse me, memorandum of understanding.
Can I ask a silly question?
Mhm.
So if I looked at that right, I did. So effective dates July 1st of 2024. So we're signing that we agree to the MOU dating back a year and a half?
I think that's probably when it started.
Okay.
I don't know if that should be like that, but I think that's when the boiler was.
Started before that.
And it
Yeah.
goes until
Wow.
June 30th of 2028 and allows Quabbin essentially to act as the fiscal agent getting the funds from DESI.
Yeah,
Okay.
For the boiler?
yeah.
Which school is this?
Hubbardston Center.
We only have
The
one.
boiler.
I
Yeah.
thought we had to pay for that.
Well, they're getting some reimbursement from them. Yeah.
We have to approve it before the funds can be accessed. We
Oh,
have to
okay.
approve
All
it.
right.
So that's what this is all about, to authorize the appropriation.
Mr.
The
Chairman,
appropriate town representative to sign the MOU. Would that be the TA or me at this point?
well, I think it could be. Mr. Chairman, would you accept a motion?
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding for the QRSD and Hubbardston Center School DESI Fund Code 2517, and that we authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the board.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? Is that available, Trish?
No, it is not.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. So that will have to be signed at a later date then, right? If it's not available now.
Correct.
Okay? Finally, any matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair? I don't have any. Yes, Heather.
I just, we got a couple resignations in the past couple days from two long-term staff who've been with us, well, feels like long-term, I guess it's not super long. We've been through a lot in the past year, both Mary and Patricia, and I just want to say thank you to both of them for everything they've done for the community and the town and the staff. They were a pivotal part of this past year. Huge thanks goes to them, especially for the move,
Yes.
and many, many more things that I wouldn't even have time to name
Yeah.
unless we were here till midnight.
The list is too long.
Yes.
We thank you very much.
Jesus.
Thank you.
And I know Peter usually likes this one, but based on the fact that it's probably silly to have Patricia write a letter for herself, perhaps one of us on the board could draft a letter from the board to make sure that they both receive it and it's also placed in their files.
I would very much think that would be appropriate at this point. Are you listening?
Okay. Well, that's good, because Peter's going to be assigned the assignment.
Oh, we're gonna assign you something. You're not listening, so yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that Peter draft a letter for each of both Patricia and Mary to thank them for their service to the community and to have a copy filed in their personnel files on behalf of the board.
Second.
Motion made and second.
He's dying, he can't answer.
Emotional.
Yes, he can't.
You can nod your head.
Choking on
Yes.
this. I don't have a letterhead for the town.
That's okay, we can put it on there. We can put it on there.
But do you accept that?
I can just write the letter.
Do you accept that?
Yeah, copy and
I
paste.
accept.
Okay. Motion was made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Any further matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair?
Choking on my.
Yes, I have one.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
It has escaped my notice, but I found it on Mondays. We received a letter from a lovely lady. So all I'm asking for is a woman found on 11 Dogwood, found and mailed her keys to her, and she wanted to notify Town Hall that we have an outstanding citizen and wanted to know if I could send a thank you note on their behalf.
Wait a minute, what now?
I kid you not.
Run it past me again?
Okay. A person who lives on 11 Dogwood South found and
Okay.
mailed her keys to her in the Tiffany Boulevard parking lot, Staples.
Okay.
And she wanted to notify the select board in town hall that you have an outstanding citizen that went above and beyond. And wanted to know if we would send a thank you on the behalf of the town or keep record of this wonderful person. So I said I would,
I'm not
yes.
sure what this is.
These are the things.
So someone found the keys to 11 Dogwood and mailed it to
The
them?
woman in, that person,
Yeah.
that found this person's keys
Okay.
lives at 11 Dogwood. So I'm guessing
Okay.
there was a return address on the envelope that they sent their keys back
Okay.
to this person who lives in Gardner.
Oh, they found somebody's keys in Gardner.
Yup.
And
that
the person lived in Gardner, and they live on
On
Dogwood.
11 Dogwood.
Oh,
Is
okay.
the person who found them and sent
Follow
them.
down
And the
to
Gardner
Wall.
person wanted to let us know that we have an awesome person who lives in Hubbardston.
I know a
Okay.
lot of awesome people
All right,
in town.
fine. Anything else?
I would happily authorize Tricia to write that letter,
Okay.
make that motion.
Second.
See?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Public press or any questions from the public? Seeing none, who have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Quick question.